Good Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get airborne with our primary live trade brief, actually a joint brief, since I'm flying out to Colorado Springs tomorrow morning for a keynote with Whirlpool. Got to head, we're going to do about 45 minutes because I got to head to the airport, out to the airplane, because we're doing an Instagram live for the Air and Sea show, for the Miami Air and Sea show that's coming up. Admin, make sure you check out the podcast where I debrief what I saw in depth at the Miami Psychedelic Capital Conference. It was good and bad, so make sure you check that out. No briefs tomorrow through Friday. Bart's down in somewhere Mexico for his retreat, his Surfs Up veterans stuff that he does. Just a great organization, so he's out of pocket. And then obviously I'm in Colorado. Fly out of Colorado directly to Vermont. Saturday, Matthew graduates, and he turned 22 yesterday, man. Big week for Matthew. And tomorrow is Susie's birthday, the 27th. So, okay, this time next week at 7 p.m., Bart will knock out his quarterly training, his first ever quarterly training, okay? Just like I do Full Throttle going forward, Bart's going to do quarterly training, and I think he's come up with 6 briefs. We have 7 in Full Throttle. He's got 6. Can go up, can go down. It just depends on over time how it develops. So if you want to check out what Bart is doing in Tomcat charts in Zone 5, you can register for the brief that's next Tuesday at 1 p.m. and then at 7 p.m. So at 1 o'clock, he's going to show you what he does in his live trade brief on Fridays at 10 a.m. And then at next Monday night, he's going to show you what the training is going to look like, so you can make your decision then. So here's the link to register. I already have a couple hundred people registered, and I haven't even started emailing or posting online about it. So it should be pretty crowded. If you just want access to his 6 training sessions, like, I don't know if I want, I said Tuesday what? This is Monday at 1 and 7. At 1 and 7 are 2 free briefs. Tuesday at 7, he starts his quarterly training. Tuesday, Thursday night for 3 weeks. Okay, so Monday, 2 free briefs. Tuesday, it officially gets airborne. So you essentially have kind of a day to decide. Okay, so if you just want access to Bart's 6 training sessions because you want to feel it out, you're not ready to pull the trigger for Tomcat charts or Zone 5, it's only $197 just for his 6 training sessions, which is obscene. Other places charge a couple $1,000 for this. We do the exact opposite. The training should be less expensive and the practical application of it should be more expensive. Well, actually, most other places don't even do that. They just charge a shitload for their crappy training and then go, good luck. This is why we have live trade briefs. I started all this back with the Options News Network. Me. I looked at Invest Tools. They weren't doing this. Invest Tools. 5 cities a day, people on the stage. I'm like, why don't you jump online and do live trade briefs with all these tools? Next question. And Optionetics. So there you go. It's only $197 for Bart's training. Tomcat charts is $147 a month. Zone 5, where you get access to all of his shit, is $297. And I've actually been I was in here last night looking at all this stuff. There's good stuff in here, man. He's got everything in here. Equity, fixed income, other opportunities, global stocks. Good stuff. So next Monday, free brief, 2 of them. Next Tuesday night, it starts the training. If you're not in, you're not in. So it's a night of drinking right there, if you drink. All right, what else is going on? Hey, so there's a Psychedelics virtual investor conference, April 27th and 28th. So since I'm in Vermont, it is a good idea for you to attend this. Kind of James, it is included with your lifetime membership. That is why the best deal on the planet is lifetime, which is going to be going up in price. It actually has gone up in price every year because we add more value. So strongly recommend you get lifetime. You don't have to pay for any of that stuff ever again. So Psychedelic Virtual Investor Conference. Just about everybody I saw, you can see. Awaken, Field Trip Health, Mindset, Psych Wellness, Wisana. So there's Daniel. Good stuff. Let me Like I said, I'll be flying all over the place. Let me give you the link to this. This is what you need to do, though, man. This is good stuff. This is free. This is how you go axe capital, man. You start attending these things, and you start doing your own due diligence. So there's the link to attend the psychedelic virtual investor conference. There you go. All right, I think I'm good. Let's get going here. Probably one of the best days in recent history on Twitter yesterday, just to see the absolute meltdown of people. I mean, Elon Musk. Isn't it sad that a billionaire entrepreneur has to come to the rescue of free speech in the United States of America, and the people having literal meltdowns about this? All the dude wants to do is like level the playing field, and one side of the field goes absolutely apeshit. You guys know me. I had 4 Twitter accounts deleted for truth, for telling true things. So the actual fascists are actually the people that call them anti-fascists. We all understand that, right? It's ridiculous. Yeah, he's African American, man. It's even better when you call him African American to see liberals go apeshit. There's a couple conservative guys on here, African Americans, that are like, that dude's more African American than I am. He actually lived in South Africa. I haven't. So just absolutely, the tears on Twitter are golden. It's just it's incredible. And then to see humphead Jeff Bezos get smoked yesterday. Jeff Bezos had the balls, like his head, to suggest that China actually. So calling Elon a racist doesn't work, a sexist, a homo. You can call him everything, but so now the attack is China. Jeff Bezos owns a platform where like 90% of the shit that he sells on his platform comes from China. But look at this. Tesla's second biggest market is China. They make batteries there. China banned Twitter, blah, blah, blah. They have no leverage over the platform. That might have just changed. Jeff Bezos. Interesting question. Did the Chinese government just gain a bit of leverage over the town square? It already did have leverage over the town square from its previous overlords, the Chinese. Elon Musk is the last person who's going to get swayed by China. So it's so funny. So he got smoked. I mean, thousands of people rolled in like, oh my God. So the dude that owns the Washington Post, which is a mouthpiece essentially also for China. So Bezos replied to himself. I think he kind of figured out he looks like a tool. My own answer to this question is probably not. I love people that do that type of shit. Say something completely stupid and then go, well, I don't think that, but, other people might. He's just a tool. I can't stand Jeff Bezos. He is a tool. He's your typical limousine liberal. But if you see the Chinese sellers make up 40% of the top brands on Amazon and 75% of new sellers. I mean, he just got smoked on social media. Anyway, billionaire squabbling is comical, especially over the weekend when Elon Musk, so Apple releases the pregnant man emoji, right? This is where we are in the world today, man. 4 billion years of biology, and now we decide that men can have babies. So, of course, Apple, I can't believe after they deleted the gun emoji that shootings haven't stopped. Anyway, but the pregnant man emoji came out, and Elon Musk just savage over the weekend. He showed a picture of that pregnant man emoji next to Bill Gates in a blue shirt, looking like a pregnant man. It was savage. So billionaires fighting each other is awesome. China, the prime minister and their secretary of defense in the past couple of days have used the word, you ready for this? Red line. China. How about here's another whiz call. Donald Trump will be back on Twitter. He announced yesterday, I'm not going back to Twitter. I have Truth Social. It's an absolute miserable failure. Anybody on this webinar think that Donald Trump's not going to get back on Twitter? But he said he won't. I've heard that guy say a lot of shit that he actually ends up doing or not doing. Anyway, so that's comical. But anyway, red line. China has signed an agreement a month ago or whatever it was with the Solomon Islands. Now, if you're a nerd like me, you lay on the couch at night sometimes and you watch World War II in color and all sorts of History Channel shit, and you know everything about World War II. The Solomon Islands has signed an agreement, a military type of agreement, with who? China. Anybody remember the Aussies last time? Where's Graham? Graham, you still up? Man, what a great ally, right? We helped. Here comes the Japanese horde, man, south, coming for Australia. We joined up and beat the shit out of the Japs. Allowed to say that word, or is that a pejorative? Jap. Should have heard my grandfather talk about jabs. So, Australia saying this military base, essentially in our backyard, is a red line. That's a freaking Aussie talking like that, man. But isn't it interesting that a country, a sovereign country, would get super pissed that another sovereign country, a nuke power, is dropping a military base right there in their backyard? Again, when you try and be a critical thinker today, thank God Twitter hopefully will I don't think it's going to change that much, by the way. Unless he fires every one of the purple-haired nipple ring employees, how does it change? My shit still gets shadow banned and stuff like that. Unless he fires everybody and rehires normal center-of-the-road people instead of political activists, it's not going to change. So whatever. We can talk about that some other time. My point being is this. I'm not a Putin apologist. The man should be arrested for war crimes, and if found guilty, should be executed, period. How about that? He's committing atrocities. The man is evil on earth. Even though there's a soul in there somewhere, separation from God is destroying the man. Save that speech for another time. My point being is this. So Australia is getting their nose out of joint about this. What about Ukraine and Zelensky? And we're going to join NATO eventually. Putin, why do you need to do that? Can't we Rodney King this and all get along? Latvia, Estonia, whatever the other Onia is. All these tiny little countries. We're in NATO now, too, with our 15 airplanes. So as people keep expanding on this planet, the people getting expanded into get a little pissed. Not an excuse. But when something bad happens, folks, whether it's in the military or the business world, you should do what? Stop and debrief. I think the debrief is the more that people push other people, the higher likelihood of war. So there's Australia. Russia seen loading nuclear-capable missiles on the submarines heading to Ukraine. Are you guys listening? I know you guys are listening, but anybody else? When people, especially crazy people in the world, say they're going to do something, why don't we believe them? Unlike Hitler, right, with Neville Chamberlain. I have a signed document from Adolf Hitler. There will be peace in our time. Hitler goes back in the room like, you wouldn't believe what I just told that guy. All right, go invade Poland. Russia. We'll use nukes if needed. Iran. Oh, God, yeah. We get a nuke, we're going to wipe Israel off the face of the map, and as many Americans as we can, too. Oh, no, you won't. You crazy you. Yeah, they will. I'm telling you, for the 90th time, this is going to get worse. So 2 weeks ago or a week ago, they flew backfires, whatever the hell they were, whatever bombers near Ukraine. Oh, that just trying to scare. Maybe just trying to scare because that's what they're actually going to do, right? This is like the Hunt for Red October with the sub skipper on our American, the Dallas skipper on the Red October. The hard part about playing chicken is knowing when to blink. Okay, well, you know, there's some nuclear missiles going on a sub towards Ukraine. And the fact that the United States of America helped sink the Black Sea's flagship might probably torque Vlad off a little bit. Not good. So how many of you yesterday, if you were in solo Amazon and you put on that bear put spread, saw the rally yesterday and got worried and looked at that trade and said, oh my God, it's losing money? Hopefully you didn't. And if you did, you didn't have any commit criteria and you have no idea what you're doing. So let me draw this again. I wish I could do parallel lines on here, like really good. I told you this is going to happen. I don't know where that math is down there, but it's pretty low. Okay. I'll let Bart do the charting and me just kind of do the poor man's charting from New Jersey. I told you yesterday that what? And it's doing it right now as I'm speaking to you. Look at Tesla getting destroyed. Woo! There it is. What did I say yesterday? 4250, 4250, the battle of 4250. What's going on? The battle of 40. Up through it, back to it, up, smash, airspeed, look out below. Nothing changed yesterday in my strategic mindset when I saw the rally, and I love CNBC and Fox. Is this the all clear? I'm like, are you people just that stupid? Does that look like an all clear? It's insane. It is now the time to jump it, folks. And I will get back to saying I don't want to beat a dead horse. Short squeeze, hover to think about whether we're going to higher, and it's higher, which was another short squeeze. This was one of the most violent short squeezes and longest I've seen in my career. I can't remember the last one. That was an incredible short squeeze. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what I said in each one of these. Do not buy the dips. Sell every rip. I was swamped yesterday afternoon with No Fallen Heroes meeting, social media. Wait until you see the social media launch of this thing. Paramount's going to be calling us like, hey, can we have some help? Sell every rip. I didn't get a chance. I'm like jumping out of my skin on my phone I'm like, I hate E-Trade on my phone. But anyway, should have sold the rip yesterday afternoon. We are going lower. I've been repeating it. I think 4,200, 4,150, easily doable, especially with what is going on this week. Everything is going on this week. Like the majority of the S&P 500 companies report this week. This week is also tech week. What's Amazon doing? Yikes. Who told you Amazon 2,700? I did. Amazon 27. Holy crap, that is ugly. Imagine if you had bought an Amazon up here or anything like that. I mean, that's free money. So it looks like this is wow, there goes the S&P. It looks like another tech wreck is coming. So the beauty of being an option, and I personally hate these times, but I love them. I love them as a businessman, but I hate it because, dude, I'm telling you, in my new Facebook account, which I just had to open, dudes from high school like, hey man, I know we haven't talked in 40 years, but what do you do in the stock market? I'm like, I heard puts are dangerous. They are for stupid people. How can puts be dangerous? That was an exact quote. So anyway, we're going lower. We're going a lot lower. War in Europe, inflation, and it's over with. There is no inflation. It's stagflation. We have a bubbling cauldron of badness. A Fed that's like, holy shit, man, we're going to crash this plane. I'm already sitting in the terminal at the airport. I already walked from the wreckage, and I'm in the bar in the airport looking at Jerome Powell in the cockpit going, flaps 50. Dude, we already fucking crashed, man. He's like the guy in the movie Airplane. I'll never get over Macho Grande. The Fed is sitting in the flaming cockpit as we're all in the bar right now. Stagflation is here, and it's going to be worse. So we're going to come up with a new drinking game. Every time you hear somebody on the financial media say it's baked in or it's priced in, these Fed increases, you got to drink. You'll be dead by the end of the day. I was watching a halftime show yesterday, and somebody agreed, like, because we say this, guys, right? The words don't mean anything. I said when they actually start acting, that's when the market's going to freak out because they don't believe Jerome. We read this. I'm not going to read this article again. Watch the solo Amazon replay. Learning to believe the Fed is us. We knew all of this stuff, but it's comical to me that people are starting to come around like, you were serious about that whole interest rate increases. Oh, forget about it. Yeah, exactly. Nuclear war is everything's priced in. Whoever it was yesterday at the halftime lunch was awesome. They're like, can we all kind of agree now that this isn't priced in? I'm like, fucking duh. I'd destroy that panel. This ain't that hard, folks. Using your brain is actually relatively easy. So getting hammered, we're going lower. I could not be more bearish. Stagflation, war, Joe Biden is going to be he already is a lame duck. He's a lame man. And I hate saying, I don't want to say it in that much of a negative way, but I mean lame and just lame. Right? Goose is going to be forced to retire in a couple years from the airlines. Why? Because they don't want, the flying public doesn't want some 72-year-old dude or lady flying their airliner. 65, you're forced to retire. But we got an 80-year-old, 78 or whatever old he is controlling the nuclear weapons, listening to Easter bunnies. Come on, folks. The only space I am bullish on at all is the psychedelic space, the healing space, because we're going to need it. Not going to need it. We do need it. Man, should have gotten long the VIX, shouldn't we? Here we go. I said up the mid-30s. Another rise here, man. Too late for this unless you think we're super going to slam down. However, I think Christine said this yesterday as well. Always have this on your board. When you see a VIX run, right on your board, bearish VIX. The VIX can't stay elevated forever. It can stay elevated for a while, but it has to return down to its resting heart rate. Why? Because things end up being known. We've seen this before. Oh my God, everything's awful, Wiz. Why is the VIX down here? Because everybody knows everything's awful, dude. Oh, right? Once something's known, it's known. Even a market going down like that, imploding like we are, the VIX can stabilize because look out below. People know this. This isn't the VIX, it's the uncertainty index. But when things are kind of certain, man, we know it's a shit show right now. The VIX can stabilize. So on your idea board, man, make sure you drop in a bearish VIX trade for when, not if, when volatility comes in. But for now, remember, we can get one of these like elevated a little bit, super elevated, the hover more and then down. You can get that chop, and I think that's what we're in for here, especially with these earnings. I am clueless with earnings, man. I listened to my call this morning. I didn't go to yoga. I listened to my call because it was a big call about the earnings, and I don't like flipping coins, man. I just don't. It's not something that I like to do. Talked about all that stuff already. Since we're not doing AR, I already told you about this conference. Go register for it so you can listen to the stuff. It is, this is where you have to be. Make sure you listen to my podcast, folks, because I brief what Mr. Wonderful said about the space, what I think is going to happen with the big three, and Mr. Wonderful thinks. The podcast is, you want to listen to an hour? No, it's 37 minutes, right? 46 minutes. You want to listen to 46 minutes of my commit criteria and also the threats in this space, you listen to the podcast. So I'm not going to bore you with that. But it is, I'll repeat this analogy because it really makes sense. It's the internet 1999, guys. There's pets.com, Netscape, Amazon, and Google. You got to pick the right ones, or you do an ETF. I think if this doesn't hold 42, was that 30? A little bit of a lip here. They were all impressive, man. MindMed, Atai, Cybin. The Cybin guy was good. There's just some incredible, like I said, I have a stack. I'm going to do this on the airplane tomorrow. A stack of just the science behind in this. It's staggering. But it's cool as well, right? Because everybody talking about this stuff. I'm like, this shit, everything at that conference, the psychedelic conference, except the MDMA, comes from Earth. This isn't dudes or ladies in a lab coat like making shit up, although we are, right? Like the Sonoran desert toad. There's only so many of them, and of course, assholes now go out and hunt them, and anything that man touches gets ruined. So, hopefully they put the Sonoran desert toad on an endangered species list. But of course, it's in northern Mexico through Arizona and New Mexico. So of course we will, and then Mexico, which just doesn't do anything, won't. So, but they're starting to make that stuff in the lab, right? At least the chemical compound that's in the toad venom. So hopefully we're good to go with that. Even though this is the only sector that I'm bullish on, the psychedelic sector, I wouldn't get into it right now. You just can't. You can't. And this is what's making, raising angel funds for the No Fallen Heroes project a challenge. Guys are getting wiped out. Everybody at that capital conference was looking for capital, right? Daniel was up on stage, looking for funding for his MDMA therapy for head injuries. And this, everybody is looking for money, and it's a very tough environment to raise money in, especially in a psychedelic space where, as soon as you say the word psychedelic, people are like, what? Except the smart people. The smart people know this is where the future is, period, right? There was it was bad. I think I shared this with you a long time ago, but I want to share it with you again about, let me find this, about, where is it, psychedelic? Is it the Rolling Stone one? No, hang on. It was essentially about, oh, here it is. If you didn't read this or you're new or something like that, this is a must read. It's from the Los Angeles Magazine, which is the snooty, hoity-toity, shrooms, shamans, kosher LSD, why Los Angeles is suddenly tripping out. And this is October. Let me share this with you. Read this to give you a little bit of flavor for the space. Because I'm a little torn, to be honest with you, right? This article goes into, well, it's cool now, right? Oh, I could take mushrooms and find myself type of shit. It's, psychedelic tourism. So I'm a little torn, right? Because the purists in the space are like, if you're not treating these as sacraments and religious and just with the seriousness that they are, you shouldn't be able to do it. And then I get the other side, which are people like, oh my God, I can be a better person with this stuff. Sign me up. So I get the right side of the equation. This needs to be a lot more serious, and I get the left side. There's a happy medium, but this, let's just read this. Housewives in the hills are doing it. Hipsters in Los Feliz too. LA has become ground zero for a new hallucinogen boom, with ayahuasca ceremonies now as common as barbecues. But is microdosing shrooms really the answer? What else? Angelinos? So I didn't like this article because, maybe these two are like the greatest people in the world. I've never met them. They have a soul, so I love them anyway. But the whole, it's here's what I'm mumbling about. I'm getting to the point where it's here, and it's going to be explosive. So this is what you need to do as an investor. find something where it's undervalued or smaller or niche and you think it's going to explode. I don't need to beat a dead horse, but we believe the No Fallen Heroes Project is going to blast this into the consciousness of America. If I shared this article with Poughkeepsie or Kansas City, the people might sit there and go, what the fuck? If I shared my experience as a veteran in my Top Gun Fighter Foundation flight suit and how this saved and changed my life, maybe the people in middle America go, huh. So I think with the right side, the purist, and the left side, hey man, let's just all do LSD in Los Angeles. We're going to go right down the middle as veterans, and we're going to unite this entire thing. So that's what I know we're not doing AR, but I wanted to leave you again with this. The only place I'm bullish is the psychedelic sector. However, I wouldn't be doing anything with this. This ain't. So, like I told you last week, or listen to the podcast, these are biotech companies. I talked to an analyst there, and he's like, these are biotechs. Every one of these presentations sounds like a biotech presentation. Well, we take this out of the molecule, and we're going to do this in phase 2, and then the double-blind study with 120 people. He's like, this is biotech. And biotech companies are what? Cash sponges. They need a shitload of money to do what they're doing in the hopes that something works and or gets approved. On the legalization front, psilocybin's already it's already blown past marijuana all over the place for healing. I think MDMA will be next. Like Daniel, they're trying to get him down to the NASDAQ or trying to get somebody to buy him, a bigger company. That was talked about, so that's not non-public. Because I think MDMA will be next. MDMA was outlawed in 84, 85. So the psychedelic shit that got destroyed by Nixon and Republicans, because they were fascists, MDMA slipped under the radar. MDMA was, up until 85, used by counselors. Hey guys, take 2 of these and call me Monday. Or actually, take 2 of these and you won't have to call me Monday. So Ronald Reagan, George Bush, war on drugs, everything bad, drugs bad. Wrong. So I think MDMA will be next. So again, I'll come up with something when I read all my folders of all my intel from the conference and come with an investing thesis to you, because I was blown away. Every company that got up there to brief what they're doing, I was blown away by the science and what they're doing and stuff like that. But again, the spirituality was kind of gone, and it was good to be sitting next to Nicole because she kept elbowing me like, oh my God, we take the psilocybe and this, and it's almost immediate delivery, and it's only about an hour, and then you're in and out. And I'm like, what is this, fucking Starbucks or McDonald's? We're going to take, what should be kind of a very serious experience and turn it into a drive-through. But that's what we as humans do. Maybe that's what God wants. I don't know, but we will see. Doug, yeah. I mean, so the FDA, just about everybody on the stage that used those 3 letters said they were, quote, very receptive or supportive. Now, remember, this ain't your Trump FDA or your Bush. This is Joe Biden FDA and an FDA run by Democrats. I hate saying that, but it's a fact of life. Under a Republican administration, maybe the FDA is like Bible beaters. I don't know. So it's a little bit more receptive when the people at the FDA are like, yeah, I took some shrooms this weekend, So FDA approval obviously is the next big hurdle, but guess who's really going to help in the FDA approval of it? Watching No Fallen Heroes on Veterans Day going, holy shit, 5 fighter pilots. We're already working. Sledge is doing a great job. Sledge has already got 3. You ready for this? 3 potential female fighter pilots who are interested in doing the medicine and telling their stories. And their stories have less to do with combat PTSD and more to do with, guess what, PTSD. Can you imagine 10 fighter pilots, dudes and chicks, being forced to go to Mexico to heal instead of here in the United States. 5 sailors on the George Washington have killed himself so far this year. We're losing the war at home, but we're $1.6 billion to Ukraine. 60,000 fucking homeless veterans sleeping on the street. And I hate, and I will use that word because I hate it. I hate the knee-jerk response back to that. We can multitask. No, we fucking can't. That's the answer. We could do more things than once. No, we can't. We suck at a lot of things instead of being good at some core things. Maybe the core things that are written down on an old piece of paper. Why don't we just take a break and stop? Joe Biden, for 2 or 3 days straight, and Peppermint Patty and Kamala said those border agents riding the horses that were whipping those people are going to pay severely. Remember that for 2 or 3 days? They weren't whipping anybody. Those are the horse reins and blah, blah, blah. Last week, no charges. They dropped everything. Did Joe, Kamala, or Peppermint Patty apologize to those defamed border agents? No, not a word. What happened 2 days ago? A National Guardsman drowned in the Rio Grande trying to save lives. Not a fucking word from the White House other than that's a state matter and that Texas National Guard fob. Not a word. Dude lost his life trying to save a life and protect our borders. This country is in a disgraceful shape right now. A billionaire entrepreneur is trying to save free speech in this country. Unbelievable. So, anyway, that was a big rant, but here's what I'm getting at. The psychedelic space, going to be huge, going to explode. I have no idea what it's going to look like. This is a 1999 moment. You can sit there, wait for the dust to clear, or you can go look at the big ones, like Mr. Wonderful said. Compass, Atai, Cybin. They're all cheap, guys. And you don't trade options on these. You don't trade options on a stock under $10. They're an option. Atai, Compass, Atai, Cybin. Yeah. I mean, you scoop all these up, man. Throw 10 grand at it, 5 grand at it, and let it sit there. Breaking news, FDA approved whatever. It's a biotech stock. Whatever is up 170% today on FDA approval. Hey. MindMed, same thing. It's no different, man. They're all the same. Some are doing obesity, some are doing veterans. They're all swirling around. I don't think any of these guys or gals have any advantages over the other. I listened to all of them, met most of the CEOs, and so I don't know. I don't know, Mitch. All seem similar to me. But like I said, some are doing other stuff, right? I mean, the obesity thing, which one was the obesity? Somebody should know this. I forgot. It's all running together. So this is a make or break right here for the S&P, man. There's 5 minutes, 10 minutes of a hover. We're either going to bounce or slam. And I think it's slam. Yep, there we go, slam. So, exactly, Doug. The biotech, now you know why my trading firm in Chicago, it was banned. Even though we had a trader get around our risk management protocols and lost $4 million in 3 minutes on Immunogen. It was down 80%. I walked that dude out of the firm because when you get fired like that, you're not allowed to go back to your desk. I mean, actually, you're not even allowed to go. I used to follow people to their desk to make sure they just grab their shit. And you're not allowed to touch your computer, man. Sell everything, right? And then we stopped letting people go back to their desks. So, yeah, because that was I'm marking the dude out. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He was a good dude too. Started work a week later down the street at another firm. But that's why I'm telling you, man. And these are the best hedge funds I've ever seen. We do our own research. We red team each other, whether it's the Hunters or the Lifetime, man, because that guy could not. He couldn't have given two shits. It was like $4 million, Wiz. Matt's trying to buy a hockey team. Jenny spends $4 million on facials each year, dude. What the fuck? I'm like, wow. That right there told me everything I needed to know about Wall Street. If you ain't trading your money, you don't care. That was awesome. That was a God moment for me. I'm like, holy shit, dude. And then he started a week down the street. That was awesome. Neomind is the. Oh, okay. I know it had mind in there somewhere. Oh shit. I got to get going in 4 minutes. Guys, earnings week, I'm not doing anything. I might do a shot of opportunity with some SPX the rest of the week. I'll send out an email or text alert if I'm going to place any trades. I really don't see anything. I have I didn't even look at it today. I don't even look at it anymore. I'm that guy. Down another 5%. Who cares? Mara sucks. It's below 52-week lows. 52-week low is 1794. We're below 52-week lows. So don't follow me in anything Bitcoin. What a stupid idiot. And I mean that. That's just dumb. Black Rifle came back down to earth. Might be cash secured put time. But yeah, everything's getting hammered, guys. So the only thing I'd be doing now is getting bearish on everything. And S&P just broke below that. Man. S&P just broke that 42. Yep, boom. There we go. Look out below. So if you didn't get into the SPX bear put spread yesterday, I do it. It's still a matter of fact. Do it now. I posted it in solo. The 4,200, 4,150. And right now, today's market action has 4,200 all over it. So that's a good trade. If you did not get it yesterday because you're not in solo Amazon, get it now. Let me show you what this is. Buying the 4,200 puts and selling the 4,150s out a week and a half. Why did we go out a week and a half? Fed meeting, middle of next week. It's priced in. Shut up. Stop with the it's priced in. He could come out next week and go 50. And then we're doing another 50 next month. You have no idea what that dude's going to say next week. Well, we kind of do. He's already said yesterday or whenever the market crashed, Friday, Thursday, that 50's coming. It's the forward 50s that we're worried about, or more. We know it's too late, guys. He failed. I'd love to run the debrief at the Fed. 2.5 or 2 months ago, whenever the 40-year inflation, we finally hit that barrier, why didn't you have an emergency Fed meeting and a full point increase? Ooh, we might spook the markets. That's not your fucking job. Stay in your lane, Fed. This is why I'm going to get my 2008 rant at the Options News Network. Do not save this market. George Bush, or no, it was Obama. Who was it? It was Obama, right? Or Bush? No, it was the end. It was 2008. It was the end of Bush, right? Because Hank Paulson, his CEO of Goldman Sachs, Treasury Secretary, running into the Oval Office. We got to save the markets or we'll all die. George Bush, who's an idiot. Okay, that's where this all went wrong. It was a Republican's fault. TARP, you got it. Troubled Asset Relief Project. I got a lot of fucking troubled assets, Uncle Sam. Why aren't you helping me? Too big to fail. Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers weren't. How about the Thundering Herd, Merrill Lynch? Another illegal move. The government, the Fed, or who was it, Treasury? Was it Paulson? He ordered Bank of America to merge with Merrill Lynch. How is that legal? Whatever. I don't even want to get into this. I remember being on the set of the Options News Network just going apeshit about this stuff. I'm like, it's over. This is the end of capitalism. If markets aren't allowed to operate the way they're supposed to operate, it's over with. So, anyway, like I said, I'm not doing anything. I got my bearish trade on. I'm going to watch popcorn, eat some popcorn, and watch earnings. Got to see the earnings, folks. Not the earnings. I don't care about earnings. I care about forward look. I thought this was going to happen last time. It sounds like it's happening this time, right? I said companies could use everything bad going on to lower the net. But we talked yesterday, not going to recap everything, but I said what? If 80 so far, as of Friday when I saw this metric, 80% of S&P 500 companies had, you ready for it? Beat. If 80% had beat and this is going on, even lower is coming. Could not be more bearish. Get bearish on everything right now. Do not try and time the bottom. I don't see a bottom in, folks. Remember, as interest rates go up, the cost of everything goes up to a business. Another reason I'm raising the lifetime membership, folks. Freaking inflation. Everything goes up. It's going to impact the bottom line of every company. And some companies, folks, aren't going to be able to hack raising prices, and they're going to go out of business. We are in a bad place, man. This market is in a horrific place, and so is the world. Subtle plug for No Fallen Heroes. That's why people need to heal. We need to be able to, because I feel great, man. Old me looking at the market. Well, old me looking at the market, an options trader loves this stuff, just in general, right? Because I don't like people getting hurt or 401ks getting destroyed and holy shit, man, what do I do? What do? You get centered, man. Life ain't all about trading and investing, man. Trust me. It'll be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of the needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Count on it. So get centered, man. Meditate. Go for a walk. Don't do this all day. It'll drive you crazy. Okay? Trying to flip a coin to figure out where the market's going next. Stay strategic. Put your binoculars on and look down range. Get on the bridge of your portfolio with your binoculars and go, what's coming? Right now it's stormy. Me, I see Cat 5 hurricane in front of us, but that's just me. But we as options traders can batten down the hatches and end up sailing through this thing and actually getting better and profiting. We did it on the way down last time. We did it in the COVID crash. We're going to do it again. We are doing it right now. We had, it was like 13 grand in profits in Amazon in the past month. That's why I love telling people, made 13 grand as Amazon imploded. People are like, isn't options dangerous? I'm like, if you think they are, you shouldn't be trading options because you're just, no, I'm kidding. I help you. You guys know me. I'm like, they're not. Let's actually help you out. So anyway, I'm going to get going. Airport tomorrow, airport now, Vermont. You got, I'll send out some text and emails and stuff on that. Ask Bart about Bitcoin, man, because Bart, it's a chart. Anything that has a chart or a pattern to it, Bart can do his Egyptology to it and make some sense out of it. So ask Bart, and he can maybe cover that in the free brief. So cool. All right, folks, I got to get going. Colorado, Vermont, and then I'll be home, and then I will see you guys next Tuesday. You got Bart on Monday because I'm flying back from Vermont on Tuesday with my boy coming home from college, man, which is just absolutely nuts. Okay. I'll get the replay posted here shortly, or actually after lunch, because I got to go down and do this Instagram live. Make sure you check out the Hyundai Aaron C show on Instagram, their Instagram page, and and you can see our Instagram live, or I'll repost it later. Okay. All right. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. Namaste and fights on.